Amid a savanna exposed to intense heat, every movement places life under constant strain. There is no moment of safety. The open ground lies fully exposed beneath intense sunlight. Hot wind sweeps across empty grasslands. Every movement places an animal within reach of danger. Life here does not unfold gently. It is pushed to its limits. Each dawn opens a new round of natural selection. Slower individuals are removed. Mistakes lead to disappearance. There is no room for hesitation. Within a landscape that appears still, hunts quietly begin. Pressure comes from every direction. Speed, endurance, coordination, and the ability to remain concealed determine the outcome. The terrain becomes a vast battlefield where every movement carries survival consequences. The African savanna is not only a setting, it is where the rules of survival are revealed with the greatest clarity. Life and death exist side by side, separated by a single moment. A deep and dense sound spreading across the open Serengeti is the clearest sign of an adult male lion. This signal can travel several miles across flat grassland. The roar does not exist alone. It is directly linked to territorial structure and local population density. Serengeti lions possess large bodies with well-developed muscle mass. Typical body weight ranges from approximately 287 to 419 pounds. Body length can reach about 7.9 feet. This build allows efficient movement across open terrain and maintains advantage when controlling living areas. The typical environment consists of low grassland mixed with sparse tree clusters, long sightlines are maintained while sufficient cover remains for approaching prey. The open savanna structure also allows sound signals to travel clearly. These signals play an important role in defining activity areas between individuals. In areas such as Andutu, where habitat conditions are continuously protected, lion populations show steady recovery over many years. The consistent presence of this large cat indicates that the ecosystem retains its basic structure. Food availability, living space, and biological order remain sufficient to maintain long-term balance. Across the southeastern plains, lions do not exist as isolated individuals. They form stable groups, pride size typically ranges from 10 to 15 individuals. This size is sufficient to maintain territorial control and food resources. Under favorable conditions, some prides expand beyond 20 individuals and may reach 30. These groups form complex biological units. Within each pride, the structure is clearly divided. One or two adult male lions hold central positions in maintaining the living area. Surrounding them are multiple adult females along with cubs at different stages of development. This arrangement allows continuous operation without dependence on a single individual. Most hunting activity is carried out by lionesses. These individuals coordinate movement, approach prey, and share food for the entire pride. Male lions focus on boundary control. They monitor intrusion from other prides or from large competitors such as hyenas. Pride living provides clear advantages. Hunting success increases, cub protection improves, territory stability increases. However, high population density also creates internal pressure. Competition for food, position, and reproductive opportunity always exists. As a result, balance within the pride is never completely still. Within open savanna areas, adult male lions often control very large ranges. Control of this space is maintained through powerful vocal signals. These signals are delivered in clear rhythms and travel several miles. Other individuals can identify boundaries and presence without direct contact. However, this stability does not last indefinitely. When other adult males enter the same area, conflict becomes nearly unavoidable. These confrontations are intense. They focus on removing rivals and gaining access to the pride. The outcomes of these struggles directly affect genetic structure. Only males that maintain position gain opportunities to reproduce. On the open savanna, lions focus on large hoofed mammals. Zebras and wildebeest appear frequently on the prey list. The hunting process usually begins with coordination among lionesses. They spread their formation. They maintain low profiles and use tall grass to conceal movement. When distance closes, the attack occurs rapidly. Targets are typically slower individuals or those already weakened. When the target is a large animal, such as African buffalo, male lions participate during the decisive stage. Their body mass and pulling strength help restrain the prey while other individuals assist. A single adult buffalo carcass can provide sufficient food for more than 10 pride members. Inside underground dens of the Savannah spotted hyena cubs emerge under conditions very different from many other predatory mammals. At birth, their eyes are fully open, their jaws are already formed. Teeth are sharp and firm, their bodies are young but not passive. These traits indicate that competition begins almost immediately. The den space becomes the site where early order is established. Cubs interact directly from the first days of life. There is no extended adjustment period. Silent physical encounters occur continuously. These interactions focus on securing access to milk and to the body of the mother. This order is not random. It is strongly influenced by the social status of the mother within the clan, the body form of the spotted hyena shows a structure that prioritizes function over symmetry. The front section of the body is clearly elevated compared to the rear. The two front limbs are long, strong, and carry most of the load. The body axis tilts forward, which provides advantage during force transmission. This structure supports smooth acceleration, maintains stability during direction changes, and sustains continuous pressure during long-distance movement. Strength is concentrated primarily in the neck, shoulder, and jaw regions. These muscle groups work together to hold, pull, and disrupt the movement axis of the target. This mechanism forms the basis for very high bite force. Strong jaws and developed teeth allow efficient processing of hard tissue. The bite force of the spotted hyena ranks among the strongest among carnivorous mammals. Jaw pressure is sufficient to crush large bones, including long bones, pelvis, and skull. This ability expands the range of usable food sources. Remaining parts of carcasses are fully utilized, which reduces energy waste. Thick, elastic skin plays a critical protective role. The skin absorbs impact and reduces injury from prey resistance and from contact during competitive encounters. This trait is especially useful during prolonged activity or when multiple individuals access a single food source. Hyena claws do not have a retracting mechanism. However, the claws are hard and sharp, which provides strong ground grip. During long runs across uneven terrain, the claws deliver stable traction. This helps maintain speed and control movement direction. The sensory system is tuned for Savannah conditions. Olfaction detects food sources from long distances. Hearing identifies small movements within grass cover. Vision functions effectively in low-light conditions, which supports efficient target tracking. On the savannah, where risk appears with every step, movement-killing prey does not rely on strength alone. Success depends on approach method. Spotted hyenas operate with high levels of initiative. They identify targets, choose movement direction, and maintain continuous pressure. The hunting process is not random, but is constructed through clear sequential stages. This species does not depend on remaining carcasses. Most food intake comes from direct pursuits. Individuals coordinate spacing, alternate acceleration, and control prey movement direction. Strategy is adjusted based on terrain and number of participating individuals, There are no unnecessary actions. There is no early risky engagement. Efficiency comes from persistence and stable movement rhythm. On open grassland, this hunting method allows hyenas to maintain high success rates without reaching extreme speed. Ndutu provides a hunting environment with distinct characteristics. Flat ground, low grass and long sightlines create favorable conditions for high-speed pursuits. There are few large shrubs and few obstacles. Running paths are nearly uninterrupted. In this context, the ability to accelerate rapidly and sustain short bursts of speed is maximized. Cheetah hunting efficiency is high compared to many large carnivores. Approximately half of all approaches end with the target being taken down. The decisive factor is not muscular strength, but prey selection and pursuit conditions. Targets are usually medium-sized animals with limited defensive ability and are detected in open terrain. Hunts rarely begin from long distance. Starting distance is typically very short and most often under 200 feet. Shortening this distance reduces acceleration time and limits energy expenditure before reaching peak speed. Cheetah acceleration capability is exceptional. Within a few seconds, speed can approach nearly 62 miles per hour. This characteristic places the cheetah among the fastest land animals ever recorded. However, this speed is effective only for a very short duration. Body structure directly serves this purpose. Limbs are long, muscles are oriented vertically, and bones are lightweight, which reduces inertia. The long tail functions as a stabilizing system. It supports balance during sharp turns at high speed. These elements combine to allow precise body control during rapid directional changes. Cheetah claws do not fully retract. A larger contact surface increases traction with the ground, especially during sudden acceleration or abrupt braking. This feature helps maintain driving force throughout short pursuits. Physiological limits are clearly defined. Hunts rarely exceed 30 seconds. When running at maximum speed, body temperature and energy expenditure rise rapidly. If the hunt does not end quickly, the cheetah is forced to abandon the attempt. After the prey is taken down, the following moments are decisive. Feeding must occur quickly, or the carcass must be dragged away from open ground. Delay often results in the loss of the kill to larger competing predators. Within the ecosystem, cheetahs regulate populations of smaller antelope species. Hunting pressure prevents excessive population growth and helps maintain vegetation balance. Remaining carcass material becomes a food source for scavenging species, continuing the energy flow. At present, cheetah populations are declining sharply. Open habitats are being reduced. Conflict with humans is increasing. Competition is becoming more intense. The survival of the species is closely tied to the protection of large, continuous savanna landscapes. Across the open savanna, a short, sharp sound cuts through the air. This sound is the distinctive sneeze of the African wild dog. It occurs before collective activity and serves to assemble members of the pack. The sound is produced deliberately and repeated in rhythm. It is sufficient for individuals at distance to recognize the signal and move toward a shared point. In body form, African wild dogs are medium-sized animals. Body mass typically ranges from 44 to 66 pounds. Shoulder height averages about 2.5 feet. The body is compact, with long, lightweight legs suited for continuous movement. This structure allows long daily travel distances. Under natural conditions, a pack can travel up to about 7.5 miles to locate prey or avoid high-risk areas. The ability to maintain steady movement rhythm is a key factor allowing survival in open environments where food and safety are not fixed. An African wild dog pack typically maintains moderate size. Group size commonly ranges from 6 to around 20 individuals. Within this structure, only one breeding pair reproduces. All other members remain with the pack. They actively participate in territory defense and care of young. This organization helps maintain stable numbers and reduces risk during pup rearing. African wild dog hunting relies on sustained pursuit. There is no silent stalking phase. Once a target is selected, the pack rapidly shifts into high-speed movement. Maximum speed can reach approximately 43 miles per hour. The more critical factor is the ability to maintain running pace over extended periods without rapid decline. Through tight coordination, African wild dogs achieve very high hunting success rates. Consistent hunting pressure helps control grazing animal populations and limits overgrazing. Remaining food becomes an energy source for scavenging species. This contributes to maintaining biological flow across the savannah. The Nile crocodile possesses extremely large body size. Total length can reach about 19.7 feet. Body mass can exceed approximately 1,984 pounds. This form developed through a long evolutionary process linked to harsh conditions within African river systems. The elongated body, powerful tail and heavy skeletal frame allow the crocodile to hold stable position in strong currents. This structure also provides advantage when approaching large prey. During the rainy season, many hoofed mammals cross rivers and food density increases sharply. Crocodiles typically remain low beneath the water surface. Movement is minimized to avoid detection. The moment of approach is selected based on distance, swimming, direction, and signs of prey instability. The evolutionary origin of the Nile crocodile can be traced back to the Jurassic period. Body structure stability across tens of millions of years demonstrates strong adaptation to semi-aquatic environments. Core morphological traits have remained largely unchanged. These include the elongated skull and highly developed jaw musculature. Thick skin covers the entire body and functions as a natural protective system. Hardened skin plates reduce impact from collisions, prey resistance, and harsh environmental conditions. Combined with high tolerance, the crocodile can maintain activity for long periods without frequent energy intake. Each year, when wildebeest herds move into the Grumeti corridor, Nile crocodiles become the most influential factor at river crossing points. Thousands of individuals are taken down in the turbid water. This number can exceed 6,000 in a single season. However, most of the herd still reaches the opposite bank. Approximately 6 out of 10 individuals complete the crossing. This demonstrates that heavy loss does not equal population collapse. Ecological flow continues to operate. Crocodiles do not rely on continuous hunting. Physiological structure allows long-term energy storage. The presence of crocodiles maintains stability across the entire river corridor. This occurs not only through attack force, but through long-term regulatory role within the ecosystem. The hippopotamus belongs to the group of the heaviest mammals in Africa. A fully grown adult can exceed approximately 3,300 pounds in body mass. The body structure is wide, low, and heavy, and is not designed for chasing prey. This mass creates strong spatial pressure, especially within river and wetland systems, where many species depend on the same space. During most daylight hours, hippopotamuses remain in water. Rivers and flooded areas play a central role in physiological regulation. Water stabilizes body temperature. Water limits moisture loss through the skin. Water reduces direct exposure to solar radiation. While resting, only structures needed for breathing and observation remain above the surface. This posture allows position maintenance with minimal energy use. Feeding activity begins after light levels decline. Hippopotamuses leave the river and move into nearby grasslands. Travel routes are not short. Many individuals move several miles each night to reach suitable forage. Repeated movement onto land forms stable pathways. These trails do not fade over time. They become movement corridors for many other species, ranging from small mammals to wild ungulates. Continuous grazing maintains vegetation height at low levels. Grasslands do not become overgrown. Fire risk decreases. Foraging space remains available for smaller grazing species. Hippopotamuses release waste directly into the river where they reside. Large volumes of nutrient-rich feces dissolve quickly into the water. This material becomes input for microorganisms and plankton. The nutrient flow does not remain stationary. It spreads downstream and supports the lowest levels of the aquatic system. From this base, fish and invertebrate populations develop. The underwater food web remains continuous without interruption. However, this effect persists only when hippopotamus density stays within controlled levels. When numbers become excessive, nutrient load exceeds thresholds. Oxygen levels decline and river ecosystems enter a stress state. In aquatic environments, male hippopotamuses display clear territorial behavior. They occupy fixed stretches of river and respond strongly to intrusion. During migration seasons, the presence of hippopotamuses alters water access points for grazing herds. The effects extend to predator species that depend on river systems. Through grazing path formation and nutrient redistribution, hippopotamuses shape the entire river structure. When population levels remain stable, the system operates in balance. When thresholds are exceeded, ecological order is immediately challenged. Vultures do not take part in the moment when prey is brought down. They appear only after the disturbance has ended. When predators withdraw and the area becomes still, vulture activity begins. This moment marks the final processing stage of a carcass in nature. The Rupal vulture holds the altitude record among birds. Documented observations show that this species can exceed 36,000 feet. At such height, the field of view expands dramatically. Vulture body structure is optimized for accessing decomposing carcasses. The neck is long and featherless. The head is completely bare. This design limits residue buildup when feeding deep within soft tissue. Smooth skin surfaces allow rapid cleaning and reduce accumulation of bacteria and parasites. Internally, the digestive system functions as a biological barrier. The stomach contains extremely high acidity. This environment is strong enough to destroy many dangerous bacteria, including severe disease agents. As a result, vultures can consume carcasses at advanced stages of decay without harm. Carcass processing speed is extremely high. A large animal carcass can disappear completely within only a few hours. No soft tissue remains. The decomposition process is not prolonged. As a result, the risk of pathogen buildup in the environment is greatly reduced. Vultures become a critical defense line for ecosystem health. Vultures do not enter during active conflict. They appear only after the area has settled. Lions and hyenas withdraw first. Only then does the vulture group approach. Their presence sends a clear signal. The remains are stable and no direct confrontation remains. Across the savannah, many species recognize this signal. After departure, the landscape changes rapidly. The carcass is gone. Only scattered bones and compacted ground remain. Minerals from decomposed tissue penetrate the upper soil layer. The area becomes temporarily nutrient-rich. Energy flow begins in grasslands. It moves into grazing species. It continues upward to predatory layers. It ends with carcasses and microorganisms. Nutrients seep into the soil. From the soil, grass grows again. The cycle is closed. There are no excess steps. There are no redundant links. Ecological balance is not a static condition. The Masai Mara is in constant motion. Populations rise and fall. Migration routes shift with the rainy seasons. Predation pressure moves continuously. These fluctuations prevent system collapse. When one link disappears, the impact spreads outward. When predators decline, grazing herds exceed thresholds. When scavengers disappear, pathogens accumulate. When hippopotamus numbers drop, rivers lose nutrient input. The loss of one species means the loss of multiple functions at the same time. The Masai Mara is not only grassland or scenery, it is a living system sustained by continuous interaction among hundreds of animal species. No species exists independently. No link is meaningless. Life in the Masai Mara continues only when the entire network remains intact.